February marks the start of Black History Month, a federally recognized celebration of the contributions African Americans have made to this country, and a time to reflect on the continued struggle for racial justice. This year's theme is the Black family: representation, identity, and diversity. Black History Month had its roots in 1926 when noted historian Carter G. Woodson established Negro History Week to highlight the important contributions and achievements of Black Americans. 50 years later, in 1976, Black History Month was officially designated and recognized by President Gerald R. Ford. Canada and the United Kingdom are among the other countries that set aside a month to celebrate Black history. As our district acknowledges the important contributions of African Americans this month, it will also continue its year-long tribute to the bustling Harlem Renaissance era of the 1920s. This past January, students, families, and others participated in an informative and fun-filled online educational activity, which tested their knowledge of the relevant events and people who shaped the iconic 1920s period. Tonight, Bloomfield Public Schools will continue its year-long celebration of the 100-year anniversary of the Harlem Renaissance and how it relates to Black history during the month of February. Enjoy the show!
Democracy is for me and for 12 million Black Americans a goal toward which our nation is marching. It is a dream and an ideal in whose ultimate realization we have a deep and abiding faith. For me, it is based on Christianity, in which we confidently entrust our destiny as a people. Under God's guidance in this great democracy, we are rising out of the darkness of slavery into the light of freedom. Here my race has been afforded opportunity to advance from a people 80% illiterate to a people 80% literate, from abject poverty to the ownership and operation of 1 million farms and 750,000 homes, from total disfranchisement to participation in government, from the status of chattels to recognized contributors to the American culture. As we have been extended a measure of democracy, we have brought to the nation rich gifts. We have helped to build America with our labor, strengthened it with our faith, and enriched it with our song. We have given you Paul Laurence Dunbar, Booker T. Washington, Marian Anderson, and...
Hi, this is Mr. Gibson, and I'm here to tell you what Black history means to me. Black history means to me the study of a great group of people, a powerful people, a people out of the continent of Africa, a continent full of kings and queens and scientists and engineers, educators and mathematicians. This is so important because their influence has spawned all over the world. This is what Black history means to me. Black history means the celebration and study of a topic that should be studied year-round, 365 days, not just in February. This is what Black history means to me. Also, Black history means to me the passage of Public Act 19-12. This states that African American and Black, Puerto Rican, Latino history were taught in all of Connecticut schools. This is real Black history, and it's so special to me because it originated here in Bloomfield, Connecticut, in the office of Dr. James Thompson, Superintendent of Schools, along with Mr. Don Harris, who's the head of the Bloomfield Board of Education, and Dr. Ben Foster, who's a Central Connecticut State University professor. I was with them when we put the plans together to create this public law. This is what Black history means to me.
My name is Ryan Bogle, and when I think about what Black history means to me, I think about all the famous Black mathematicians who helped shape America, such as Albert Frank Cox, who was the first African American to receive a PhD in mathematics. This shows me that I can be great too. Stay tuned as I make Black history.
Black History Month means an opportunity for everyone to be able to learn and appreciate the contributions that African Americans have made in the building of this country. From Crispus Attucks and the beginning of the Revolutionary War, to Benjamin Banneker building an alarm clock, to Barack Obama, our 44th president, to Kamala Harris, the first female person of color to serve as the vice president of these United States of America.
I'm Naomi Brown, and when I think about what Black history means to me, I think about a famous Black political activist who helped shape America. Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican political activist, a publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, and orator. He was the founder and the first president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and the African Community League, through which he declared himself the provisional president of Africa. Thinking about Black history makes me proud. It shows me that I can be great too. Watch, I too will make Black history.
Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. You may ask, what organization is that? It is for me to inform you that the Universal Negro Improvement Association is an organization that seeks to unite into one solid body the 400 million Negroes of the world, to link up the 15 million Negroes of the United States of America with the 20 million Negroes of the West Indies, the 40 million Negroes of South and Central America, with the 280 million Negroes of Africa, for the purpose of bettering our industrial, commercial, educational, social, and political conditions. As you are aware, the world in which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities. We hear the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of Ireland for the Irish, of Palestine for the Jew, of Japan for the Japanese, of China for the Chinese.
Good afternoon, Dr. Foster. I'm Dr. Ellis, and I'm honored to ask you a very, very significant question this afternoon. What does Black History or Black History Month mean to you, Dr. Foster?
Well, Principal Ellis, Black history means so very much to me. I'm a student of Carter G. Woodson. In addition, I was reared in the African-American South during the period of Jim Crow. And so I was early introduced to the fact that of people who do not know their story and will not tell their story are spineless people. So whenever we talk about African American History Month, Black History Month, I'm very elated. The story of the second pioneer group in America is very important because African American history is indeed American history. In every facet of American life, the African American has contributed, from scientific innovations, inventions, medical breakthroughs and discoveries. We have been there from the Revolutionary War to Vietnam, World War I, World War II, the African American has contributed. But more importantly, the first man to give his life to establish this nation was Crispus Attucks, a fugitive, enslaved person from Framingham, Massachusetts. Now, we have been very fortunate in our state to start the beginnings of the teaching of this history in our high schools. It started, of course, with me rallying folks together, Dr. Thompson, Representative Bobby Gibson, Mr. Harris, and later Senator McCory, and they shepherded through the legislature. I think that every student should know about the second pioneer group in the country, and it will help all of our students to become more familiar with each other and the contributions that each other have made to make this nation great. And so I say to you, African American history is very important, not only for African American and Black students, but for all students, because it is indeed the American story. I close by saying it is not a victimization story. It is a story of pain, of course, but it's also the story of a people who survived 246 years of enslavement, but went on to make tremendous contributions to this nation. With that, I salute you for your efforts to provide this training and knowledge to our students. Thank you, sir, very much. As a resident of Bloomfield, I appreciate you and your leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Foster. I appreciate you.
Hi, my name is Kahara Simpson. And when I think about what Black history means to me, I think about all the famous Black writers who helped shape America, such as Langston Hughes, who was one of the most prominent writers of the Harlem Renaissance. In a career that began in the early 1920s and lasted through his death of 1967, Hughes wrote plays, essays, novels, and poems. His most notable works include Montage of a Dream Deferred, The Weary Blues, Not Without Laughter, and A Meal Bone. This shows me that I can be great too. Stay tuned as I make Black history.
Black history is every day. But during the month of February, Black History Month gives us an opportunity to learn about, to honor, to celebrate the many Black people, the men and the women, the children that have come before us, that have paved the way for us, that show us that nothing is impossible and that we can reach any heights that we want to achieve. We have to teach our children that they too are Black history.
I am Black history.
Black girl magic is how everyone hears my mother's accent except me. I know what she had to sacrifice to be called American. It's the ability to rep an entire race, being the only brown spot in a bowl of milk. I am part of the beginning. Black women gave birth to the world and breastfed America. More than the sum total of our cornrows, overeducated, overqualified, always underestimated. Overlooked and mocked, simultaneously imitated by the critic like when sixth grade white girls didn't speak because I was different, but grabbed my arm to measure their summer tans against my melanin. Does not know my native language, but mastered the ability to code switch with articulate speech and elevated pitch. Said to be gravity-defying curls dripping in homemade hair grease. Can show up as a teeny-weeny afro, be 8 inches in burgundy tomorrow. Tastes like gumbo made in flooded Louisiana kitchens. As good as Patty Pie's 2015 Christmas. Clears throats that swallow pride for paychecks. Only earning 58% of the American dollar. Is calmness amid racist comments in the office. The mixture of Borican and Taino Indian, bonchinche and candles burning in botanicas, soul full of the likeness of God and had to manifest through big lip kisses. Tough love whose timeout was sending me outside to get my own switch. Everything and nothing all at the same time, been told to sit in the back, shut up and take it, made to apologize for being a victim, accused of being promiscuous because of our curves. Women secretly envy us. Men openly rape us. Black women. It's okay to be angry and broken at the same time. We are not pillars of strength. It's a higher threshold for pain. Our magic makes this struggle look attractive. Being told what we should become while everyone else is racking up bucks impersonating and selling black girl magic. Imitation is not flattery when no credit was given to the original. God was trying to tell us something when Whoopi curled her fingers and said, "Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna fail." Black women know your worth. We were stolen because the sun reflecting off melanated skin shines like gold. We are still of the highest value.
And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation, all of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century, 1964, and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Hi, Dr. Foster from Carmen A. Race. What does Black history mean to me? And first, I should explain that I don't really support Black History Month. I think all Americans need to understand that there are deep-rooted and enduring systems that promote racial inequality. Those systems operate 52 weeks a year, and we should be working on the same schedule. I think we should talk about Black history once a week, every week, so that we keep our focus on the problem until we've solved the problem. Besides, I think that all Americans benefit from learning about Black history. Why? Because much of Black history will reveal social injustices that Black Americans were, and in many ways still are, forced to bear. And if we don't recognize in what ways our country is unjust, how are we ever going to correct the injustices? That's why, even though I admire Ibram Kendi's How to Be an Anti-Racist, I think that everybody should read Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow. Her book will help us see that even today, 57 years after the Civil Rights Act, there are systems in place that help Americans of European descent start here socially and financially, whereas Black and Brown Americans are forced to start much lower. I think that all Americans need to learn about Black history until the day we have a level playing field for everyone.
What does Black History Month mean to me? To me, Black History Month is a celebration of culture, diversity, and achievements. Black History Month is a time where we can look back and see the struggles against racism, democracy, and the freedom to be African American. We also see the confidence, intelligence, and hard work that was done by multiple African Americans who wanted to make a change not only for themselves but for the kids of the future like me. Black History Month is not just a celebration. It is a moment to honor those that have risked their lives, freedom, and comfort. Those of the past have paved a way for activists, entrepreneurs, sports, all of the above because they knew they were capable and good enough. Black History Month tells me what I come from and what it took for me to be able to have an education, a place to call home, and a future to call mine. I would like to thank all of the members of my family that have experienced segregation and the struggle of making a living through the civil rights movement. I am proud to be a member of a family full of educators, Black business owners, and a niece of an African American man who was the president of a historical Black college named Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland. I am honored and blessed to come from a strong Black family. This is what Black history means to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, socialism and the American Negro. Democracy has so disappeared in the United States that there are some subjects that cannot even be discussed. The essence of the democratic process is free discussion. There was a time when men were not allowed to talk about universal suffrage, or the education of women, or freedom for Negro slaves. Today, communism is the dirty word, and socialism is suspect. I often refer to my education in democracy. In the little New England town where I was born, we had a high school of about 25 pupils. I entered it in 1880 at the age of 12. As I attended the town meeting annually in the spring, there used regularly to appear one of the dirtiest old men I ever saw. He was fat and...
Black History Month means so much to me. As a student who was bused out to a suburban community, I always look forward to the month of February where we would celebrate the Black American heritage and culture. Black History Month is all about the many significant achievements that African Americans have contributed to the United States and beyond.
Hello. I'm Caleb Morris. I'm 9 years old and I'm in 4th grade.
Caleb, and I'm Sheila Morris, and I'm a language arts teacher at Harlem Renaissance Middle School. Caleb, what does Black History Month mean to you?
It's important to me because it's about people that look like me.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
What about those people that look like you? Why are they important?
Because they're like people who helped out with the civil rights. And the civil rights is about where white and Black people didn't have fairness, but the Black people didn't have that much share of fair. So then they couldn't go to the same school.
Okay. All right. So if you could be like one figure from Black History Month that you learned about, who would it be?
I think I would want to be Kobe Bryant or Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, tell me more about Kobe Bryant.
Because Kobe Bryant was good at basketball, and I like basketball too, because I want to play basketball.
Okay, and why Dr. Martin Luther King?
Because he helped the most when the civil rights weren't good. So, and he gave a speech.
Okay, have you ever heard his speech?
He said, "I have a dream" at the beginning, but I forgot the rest.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for having us, and happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Hi, Kylie.
Hello.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month means a lot to me. It brings back such good memories from back in the day, such as most Black people wanted to make a better change for the living and good. Also, did you know that Ethel Waters was one of the highest paid African American entertainers in the 30s and 40s?
Wow, I did not know that.
Ethel worked in a variety of venues, including nightclubs, radio, stage, and screen. She also performed on Broadway.
We are Bloomfield Public Schools, and we love Black History Month. We celebrate Black history every day, and at this time, we will be singing the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the horn rejoicing, rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the day when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. Oh, we have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Oh, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy head, may we forever stand true to our God and true to our native land. Thank you. Happy Black History Month.
When I think about what Black history means to me, among so many other things, I think about our dearly beloved Marcus Jennings. Mr. Jennings was not only an exemplary educator, but he was an impactful, influential Black man that stood for justice, and he stood for what he believed in. Mr. Jennings also made sure that his students knew where they come from. One way he would do that every year was by making sure they knew and could recite the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Every 8th grade promotion, Dr. Ellis would ask me to sing the Black National Anthem. And every promotion, Mr. Jennings will pull me to the side and show his appreciation for me using my gift to sing and lift up those words. There was so much meaning behind it for him. And he always, always, always looked forward to that moment. So even in singing, Lift Every Voice and Sing, every time I sing it, I think of Mr. Marcus Jennings.